guys, welcome back to my channel, and also welcome if you are new. I'm so grateful to have you here. So my name is Akua B, and here on this channel I cover all things faith, lifestyle and beauty related, and in today's video the title is You Don't Need Extra Time. But before I get straight into that, I just want to quickly encourage you to leave a like down below and also comment something encouraging for another viewer that passes by, and also make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And let's get straight into it. Okay, so I thought of this video when I was just contemplating my need of more hours in the day, but then I thought of a passage in the Bible that I'll be centering today's video around. Okay, so this video is based off of Isaiah 38, in which King Hezekiah is told by the prophet Isaiah that he will die soon. This was a sort of mercy that God showed Hezekiah, and I'll get into why in a second. But first, let's actually read the passage for some context, and then I'll summarize my thoughts. Okay, so I'm going to be reading from Isaiah 38 verses 1 through to 5. And it says, "In those days Hezekiah was sick unto death. And Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos, came unto him, and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Set thine house in order, for thou shalt die and not live. Then Hezekiah turned his face toward the wall, and prayed unto the Lord, and said, Remember now, O Lord, I beseech thee, how I have walked before thee in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done which is good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore. Then came the word of the Lord to Isaiah, saying, Go and say to Hezekiah, Thus saith the Lord, the God of David thy father, I have heard thy prayer, and I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will add unto thy days 15 years. Okay, so straight away what I took from this passage is that we often ask God to change our circumstances, but not to change us. Hezekiah was given plenty of opportunity and warning to let God change his heart. Initially, God told him that he would pass away through Isaiah, and then in response to this, Hezekiah started to list off his good works. In the time of Hezekiah, he was actually under the Old Testament law, whereas we're under the New Testament. So it's understandable to see how he tries to justify himself by his own works, and also how he is so distraught over dying because of its uncertainty. We, now under the New Covenant, are redeemed in Christ. So this story is a reminder to us as sinners how we look trying to justify ourselves to a perfect God and state a case for how we deserve his presence for eternity. It's kind of futile. Okay, so my last point before I sum up today's video is that God doesn't need more time. We want it. But for what? God knows, and God knows what is best for us and what will do us or others damage. Hezekiah went on to live those 15 years that were added onto his life, and in that time bore a son named Manasseh, who did evil in the sight of the Lord. Judgment came upon Judah as a nation because of the atrocities of Manasseh. If Hezekiah hadn't asked for more time, then Judah may not have had to experience the wrath of God for Manasseh's actions. Okay, so just to summarise today's video, I wanted to read from Psalm 90 verse 12, where it says, So teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. So that to me tells me that I don't need extra time or even hours in the day, I just need to be wiser with the ones that I already have. I want to encourage you that when you hear from God, to first humble yourself. We can get ahead of ourselves and think we know the way that we should go, before remembering that God doesn't think like us, and his thoughts are not our thoughts. The next thing to do is to respond in preparation. God gave Hezekiah a plan to get his house in order, and he had enough time to do all of that, but he didn't make himself busy with the task that God set before him straight away. This brings me to my final point, which is obedience. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. And God knows our situation. He knows our hearts. He knows the best outcome for us. And sometimes, like Hezekiah, we feel the need to remind him of all these situational factors as if he doesn't already know. We need to trust in him and in obedience to his will and do accordingly. Okay, so that is the end of today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, then please don't forget to leave a like down below, comment something encouraging for another viewer that passes by, and also make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in my next video. Stay blessed and bye!